Hello, hello, and welcome back to another episode of the 1111 Matrix Code Revealed. As always, I'm your host, Garrett King. Before we get started on today's video, I want to apologize for not having a video last week. I actually did have a video. It was uploaded, scheduled, ready to go live the following morning, and I pulled the plug on it at the very last minute. The reason being is because the information that I had revealed after I already had the video uploaded and then was continuing to look at the information, I realized it wasn't going where I thought it was going, and I didn't feel like it was relevant enough to keep the video up there. The information would have been invalid. There would have been no point in releasing the video, only to have to turn around and do a video, the following week, this week, saying, hey guys, I fucked up. So yeah, let me kind of explain what I was doing. So I was watching a video on YouTube where this Hebrew scholar, he was talking about how the codes, the hidden Bible codes in the Torah, how they were found using something known as ELS. Now, ELS stands for Equidistant Letter Sequences. And what this basically means, just kind of breaking it down into something very simple. Let's say that you have a book, any book, and you're looking at the very first paragraph, okay? So you're going to go to the first word and the very first letter and select it. Then you're going to choose what your distance is going to be from that letter to the next letter. So let's say that you choose 7, okay? So you'll select the first letter and then count over 7 and select the 7th letter. Then from that one, you'll count over 7 and select the next letter. Then from that one, you'll count over 7 and select the next one. So by doing that, you have these selected letters, and then you can look at them, and if they are in the right order, then it could possibly spell out something entirely different, okay? That's how many of the codes in the Torah and like in the Bible code, the books that came out on the Bible code, that's how those codes were discovered, was using these equidistant letter sequences. So I wondered how that might apply to the numbers that were generated in this 1111 matrix code. I just, going off of a hunch just to see what might happen. So I took, in the very beginning, I took the first 300, I think it was like 330. I may have even done 333, just choosing a number that, started it all. Why not? But I know it was like the first 300 and some odd numbers. Just something small to start with, just to see what would happen. So what I did was I selected all of them, put them into a Word document, and then got rid of the spaces in between the numbers, okay? And I guess the best way to do this is just to kind of show you. So I got the first number selected here, and I don't know, let's just go to the 24th. Actually, it's not really the 24th one down because we're not starting on the first one. We're starting on the 4th one. So this would be like 21. Yeah, it tells us right here. So it's the 21. So this is the first 21 numbers. So let me just open up a new Word document. I just want to show you. I just want you to be able to see exactly what I was doing. So I pasted it in without any formatting because I didn't want the cells to be pasted in. I just wanted the numbers. So just like so. Then I selected all of them, and what I did was I got rid of all of the paragraph marks like this so that the numbers would read out just like a book. Okay. And then I went through and I started with the first one and I highlighted it. And then I counted over 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. The fourth one over is 7. Then from there, 1, 2, 3, 4. The next one is 1. Okay. So I did that. And what I did after I did that, I got rid of all of the numbers in between so that only the fourth number was selected. Now, the reason I chose 4 is because all of these numbers come back to the number 1111. So 371074. You take the last 4 digits, add the remaining, you get 1111. Also, 4 was the key into bringing those numbers back to 1111. So that's why I chose the number 4. Okay. Now, here's a bigger document, and this is the first 300 and some odd numbers that I chose. Okay, and I went through it, like I said, and selected every fourth one. Which, just interestingly, they're all lined up. I guess that's not too interesting. I guess that makes sense. But as you can see here at the end, we have 0, 4, 4, and then the fourth one over is 4. So it starts back over at the beginning. So it was really easy to go through and select all of these numbers and then get rid of the ones that aren't selected. So that is what you are looking at here. Okay. Now, I know this is jumbled up and everything looks odd on here, but let me explain. So the sequence, every fourth number starts out 37110465 and so on. And then it goes into this sequence, and the sequence of numbers is why I have essentially, let's just move this up like that. So the numbers would just continue on, get rid of the equals 11 part. I just put it there as a reference so I can show you what I'm talking about here in just a moment. But the numbers started repeating themselves, which I thought was weird. So the sequence goes, this whole entire number here, starting with 3 and ending with 0, and then it went 9 1 0 0 0 0 1 0 1 9 1 9 2 8 2 8 2 8 3 7 3 7 and so on. And if you look, these numbers that are highlighted green, yellow, and this pinkish purple color, they appear to be the same, but they're not. Now, the ones that are highlighted green are the same. The ones that are highlighted yellow are the same. And the ones that are highlighted in this pinkish purple color are the same. But all 9 lines of numbers are not the same. Gets confusing, I know, but you'll see what I'm talking about here in just a moment. So one way that I can prove this to you is, let's just do a search for the number 37. Okay. So as you can see, we have 3 and 7, 3 and 7. This is in the first 2 lines. And then down here, we have 3 and 7 and 3 and 7. Now, straight down, it's exactly the same. Over here, it's exactly the same until we get to the last 3 numbers that are pinkish purple. And it goes from 37, 37 to actually being 37, 37, 37. Okay, so these bottom 3 numbers are different than the ones in yellow. Now, doing it this way, the ones in yellow look identical to the ones in green, but again, they're not. Because if you look at this line right here, where we have the 2 and the 2, so let me just select it like that. So right here we have 2 and 2, and then it goes 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, straight down. Okay. So then that means that the green is different from the yellow. And because we now have 3 37s down here as opposed to 2 37s up here and up here, then the pinkish purple colors are different as well. Hope that makes sense. Now, the odd thing is that even though these numbers are different, they all have the same total. Okay? And you're going to see how this is possible in just a moment. So one of the other changes between the green and the yellow is this line, or I guess I should say column right here. So you can see where we have 7, 4, 7, 4. But then down here it's 6, 4, 6, 4, 6, 4, 6, 4. And then it continues down into the purplish pinkish color. Okay. So you can see where there is fluctuations, but when you're just glancing at it, first glance, these numbers look identical, but they're not. And like I said, they all equal 232. Now, let's just go ahead and prove this really quick, so there's no doubts in anyone's minds. So in order to do that, we have to copy the number into what is known as a summation calculator. And we have to put commas after every number so that it will calculate each number individually. Okay. Calculate. There's 46 total digits, and the sum is 232. Okay, that's from the first line. Now we know that the ones here in yellow are identical, so I'm just going to select the first yellow one, and we'll go back over here, paste it in, and put space, or not spaces, but commas between each number. So again, that it needs to calculate each number individually. Okay, again, 46 and 232. And then lastly, we know that these last three numbers are identical. So we're going to copy those, do the same thing. Again, I'm just showing you guys this so that you know that there's no question, there's no doubt in anyone's mind of what I'm doing, and that these numbers all total 232. So this is for your peace of mind and mine as well. All right, calculate. Again, total numbers 46. The sum of the numbers is 232. Now, the number 232 didn't mean anything to me. I don't think it's a number that we've seen before. However, doing some research, I discovered that the word of the Lord in Hebrew has the value of 232. So this right here is Hebrew for the word of the Lord. I'm going to copy this, go to Google Translate, paste it in, and as you can see, it's the word of the Lord. Now I'm going to take that same text and come over here to Gematria, and as you can see, I've already pasted it in, but I'm going to get rid of it and then paste it back in so that you can see it's 232. Now, another interesting thing is, in one of the previous videos where I talked about the first 169 digits after the decimal point of the number pi, we saw that all of those numbers, those 169 numbers, equal 754. As you can see here on the screen, which is the equivalent of Joshua Christ in Hebrew, Joshua being Yeshua, or Jesus. And Lord Jesus Christ in Greek ordinal had the value of 294. And as you can see, 294 gives us the cross on the screen, indicating Christ on the cross. But what are the chances that the number 232 would be all of the numbers surrounding it? The border numbers. I found that to be very curious and just really, I mean, kind of cool and interesting at the same time. I mean, it's just like, what? So yeah, so 232 is the equivalent of all of the border numbers that make up this chart of the 169 digits after the decimal point of pi. So a unique and odd connection. But the question is, what is this sequencing of numbers? What does it mean? Does it hold any deeper meaning? And the answer to that is, I don't know. I don't know yet. But I find it very odd that at the very beginning, well, I say very beginning, but close to the very beginning, because we have this string of numbers right here that don't really seem to have anything unique about them, except maybe here where we have 4477 or even 7447. That'd be a palindrome. Or even here, 4774. And then we have 8282. So kind of repeating numbers there. But other than that, there's nothing really super unique that I can see going on up here. But the fact that we would enter a sequence where every single line starts with this number, 91000010, and then we get the string of numbers. And then that number repeats. And then we get the string of numbers again, and the first two being perfect palindromes. These first two numbers are perfect palindromes. Because if you look, it goes 1919282828 3737 47 46 46 5 5 5. Right here is the middle. Then reading from the end, 1919282828 37 37 47 46 46 5 5 5. It's a perfect palindrome. Oh shit. Went back one too many. And so is the second number. So again, these are perfect sequences. And then it's only when it gets into the yellow portion that there's changes. But what are the chances that this portion of numbers here in yellow would repeat 4 times? And then the ones here in this pinkish purple color. All of these highlighted down here are these 3 lines are exactly the same. What are the chances of that? So it makes me feel like that there's a hidden sequence even within this new line of doing this ELS, this equidistant letter sequences, that there's a new sequence of numbers and patterns emerging. Now, again, I don't know if this means anything or not. I'm just exploring to see what I find. But as I've been doing that, I have seen other patterns emerging. So what I had on the screen just a moment ago was the first 300 numbers, okay? And the 4th digit out of those 300 numbers. So it was kind of short once you remove all the other numbers. But over here, I've taken the first 3,737 numbers and done it. So we have a whole lot more numbers here, but I started seeing these other like sequences taking place down here towards the bottom. And there could be other sequences taking place in the middle. It's just, there's a lot of numbers here to look at. And I mean, I could see a lot of nines, straight away, a lot of zeros straight away, a lot of ones straight away. But it's when you start noticing things like this. So if you look right here in blue, we have 9,000, and then we have 9,000 down here. And then if you look, I have a bunch of numbers highlighted green and some that are gray. And then down here, I have some that are red and others that are gray. Let me explain this to you. So from this 9,000 to the beginning of this 9,000, this whole string of numbers that are green and gray are nearly identical to this string of numbers starting with 9,000 and highlighted red and gray. The only difference between the numbers are those that are highlighted gray. Everything that's green and red are identical. So for example, we have 9,000 highlighted blue, and then it goes 2804. If you look down here, I have 9,000 highlighted blue, and it goes 2804 in red. Then we have a gray number, which is 628, and up here it's 637. Then it goes 08 and 08. Those are identical. Then it goes in green 02846 064 55000. It's the same right here in red. 02846 064 55000. So again, another sequence that is nearly identical with some changes mixed in. But what are the purpose of these repeating numbers? Do they have meaning? I don't know. And then down here, we have another sequence where it starts with 9,000. And then all of this in green looks identical to what we have here in pinkish purple. But it's not. Almost, but not quite. So what I've done is I've scrolled down here to the very bottom. And let's just zoom in here, because I had to make the font very, very small in order to get the numbers to, where in the hell did they go? Okay. Is this just screwing with me? Okay. Okay. Hopefully you can see this. But I had to make the font small so that the number would line up on one line. So again, it starts with 9,000, which I have in blue, and everything that's green and this pinkish purple color are identical. Everything that's in gray is different. Okay. And there's not really that many that are different. I'm actually curious now that I'm looking at this. So let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we have 15 double-digit numbers that are different. Why? Why? And out of curiosity, how many identical numbers do we have that are the same? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. So 15 number or double digit numbers that are different and 16 strings of numbers that are the same. So 15 plus 16, 31. Does it have meaning? Don't know. But what if we do it the other way? 16 minus 15. 1. The fact that we have two lines, 1 and 1, would be 11. Is one way of looking at it. So I don't know if there's anything to this or not, if this is just a fluke. I tend to think it's not. Something deep inside me tells me that there's something embedded in this even deeper. And that's what I'm trying to find. That's what I'm trying to explore and find out. And are is this sequence showing us a pattern that I need to recognize and apply elsewhere in these numbers? And then will something start to form? Again, I don't know. If we're looking at an entirely new cipher here, we're going to have to figure out what the key is to decoding this cipher. So, but again, I just have to point out, I find it incredibly odd that we're going to have this sequence starting here towards the beginning where these numbers repeat like this. And of course I have 9,000 here and 9,000 here. And I know that there's somewhere deep in here, I want to say it's somewhere right around in here. So if we do a search for 8,000, yeah, we can see it repeating. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just 8 times apparently. But again, this is only the first 3,737 numbers. And I'm just curious, 7,000. Okay. So I see 1 and 2, 3. So 3 times. Yeah, not saying that means anything. I was just doing it just out of curiosity. But I think there's enough here to establish that there is a sequence taking place. It's just going to take some time to determine what the sequence is and how far it really, really goes. Now, I have started another new Word document to where I've taken all the numbers from the first number generated all the way up to, let's see, it was the first string of numbers that I generated with this code. So yeah, it was the 24 billion. So I've taken all of the numbers from the first one, 371074, to this last number of 24,857,445,118. I copied all of those, put those into a Word document, and I'm going to start the process there. It's a lot of numbers to look at, and I almost feel like I need to find and see if there's a program that exists that will find number sequences or number patterns without me having to do it, by eyeballing it. I don't even know if that's going to be possible or not. So I just wanted to show you what I've been working on. And like I said, I don't know if this is going to go anywhere or not. I truly don't know, but I'm just finding this bit of information with the 232, the word of the Lord, repeating 9 times at the very beginning of this. It seems to be telling us something. Something. So it's very possible we might be on the brink of something new emerging out of this. Now, what I was working on last week, the video that I had for last week, was concerning binary numbers, because once I started breaking these numbers down and choosing every 4th digit, I realized that there was a new kind of binary pattern taking place that I want to show you here just in this first line of numbers. So when I say binary sequence taking place, this is how it would actually work. So the first numbers are 3 and 7, which 3 and 7 is 10. Then we have 1, 1, 0. 4 and 6 is 10. 5 and 6 is 11. Then we have 0. Then 2 and 8 is 10. 9 and 1 is 10. Then 3 and 8 is 11. Then we have 0. Then we have 4 and 7, which is 11. 4 and 6 is 10. Then we have 1, 0, 0. 5 and 5 is, 10, if I could type. 9 and 1 is 10. 9 and 2 is 11. And then we have 0. 7 and 4 is 11. 4 and 7 is 11. And 7 and 4 is 11. And then we have 0. 8 and 2 is 10. 8 and 2 is 10. 5 and 6 is 11. And then we have 0. So you can see this sequence of 1s and 0s. This line will do it. This line will do it. This one, all of these will do it. Until we start getting down to right around in this portion. Because if you look right here, you can see where 9 and 1 is 0, and then we have 0, and then we have 1 and 1, and then 3 and 7 would be 10, so that's 1 and 0, and so forth. But right here is where it starts to go wonky. So we have 1, but then 6 and 3 is 9. So it doesn't work as far as binary. However, 8 and 2 would work because we'd get 10. 3 and 7 would work. 1 and 9 would work. And 1 would work. However, 4 and 5 is 9. Doesn't work. Now that I'm seeing that, it's making me curious. 4 and 5 would be 9. 6 and 3 would be 9. So, not sure if that's telling us anything or not. But looking at this further, so 3 and 7 would be 10. 4 and 6 would be 10. 1 would stand on its own. 9 and 1 would be 10. And then we have 2 and 7. Okay, that doesn't work. Because again, 2 and 7 is 9. Is that, damn it, is that a pattern? Is that a pattern? Okay, I'm going to have to look at this even deeper. But that's where I was running into that brick wall that I was talking about. Because I was like, okay, you can't get a 1 and 0 or a 1 and 1 out of 2 and 7. But that would be a 9. And then it would, just looking at this, then it goes 7 and 3 is 10, 6 and 4 is 10, 1 and 9 is 10, 1 and 0, 9 and 2 would be 11. And then we have 8 and 7. Okay, that's where I think we're going to have an issue. Because 8 and 7 doesn't give us 1 and 0 or 1 and 1. So maybe not. See, it's these types of brick walls like this that I run into that I'm like, okay, this sequence is going off kilter. It's not working as far as binary. It does up to a certain point. It does all the way up to this line right here. But past this, so everything from here down to here will translate, or you can turn it into something that looks like binary code. From here down, that's where things start getting screwy. So, not sure where that's going to go. But like I said, I find it very, very interesting with this first portion of numbers repeating themselves and then finding those sequences further down, like here, where these numbers are repeating with some discrepancies in between. But are they discrepancies? Do those discrepancies have meaning? Is there something? Is it showing us or telling us something that isn't just so evident just like by looking at it? Is it a code? Is it a new cipher? Is it a new key? I don't know. I don't know. But I feel like I need to look at this further and really, really dig into it much, much deeper, because my gut feeling is telling me that there is something hidden, embedded in this way deeper than originally thought. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end this video here, just letting you know what I've been working on. The whole video from last week was concerning the binary sequences that I was just demonstrating to you. And my hope was that by doing this, the entire string of numbers that I have calculated all the way up to 100 billion would all turn into a binary sequence. That was my hope, because my thought was, holy crap, like what if this is the binary sequence that makes up the simulation that we're living within? But I kept hitting those brick walls. So it ruined that thought. Actually, you know what? There is one more thing that I want to show you before I end this. In the first number, the 371074, I want to show you guys something really quick. Remember the symbol from the Vedic square, okay? It's the cross. So we saw it here. We saw it when we were decoding the Bible, which I'm still working on, so bear with me. We saw it in Lord Jesus Christ in the number 294. We got the plus, well, I call it the plus symbol, but it's the cross. So we've seen it multiple times. The original binary code led me to the Credit Suisse Bank, where I came across that photo on the internet where of the person holding the bag, and it had the cross thing on it, the Swiss flag, but it's the exact same symbol. I want to show you something very, very interesting, and I actually have it right here because I copied and pasted it earlier. But what if I told you that the very first number, 371074, will produce this cross if you turn those numbers into ones and zeros? To prove that, let's go to the binary to text translator. And I'm going to type in 371074, just so you can see the number on the screen. Okay. Now, look at this number. Look, 3 and 7 is 10. Then we have 1 and 0. And then we have 7 and 4, which is 11. Okay? So when you look at this number, it's 10, 10, 11, which is what we have here. I'm going to get rid of that number and hit convert. Well, it's already on here. You can already see it. It gives us the cross. Or people are going to look at it and say, well, that's just the addition symbol. Well, it is, but it's the cross. It's a symbol. I found that very, very interesting that the very first number, 371074, will produce that symbol. Very cool. Very cool. Okay. Going to go ahead and wrap this up. Again, I just wanted to show you what I've been working on and apologize again for not having a video out last week. I just didn't want to put out something that I would ultimately have to turn around and say, you know what, guys, this went nowhere. It would have been just a waste of your time and my time. Again, I don't know if this right here that I've showed you today, if it's going to lead to something or not, but I don't know. This gut feeling inside of me is telling me it's the start of something new that's about to be revealed. But I don't know what. I don't know what. So, all right. That's it for this time. I hope everyone has a great rest of the week. And I'm sorry if this video wasn't as exciting as some of the others, but again, like I said, I just wanted to show you what I was working on, and I do feel like this is leading to something. So bear with me. We'll see where this goes, and hopefully it's something completely profound. Let's hope. Fingers crossed. Okay. Till next time, take care, and we'll talk again soon. Bye-bye.